So today I wanted to spend some time on the sprints and the issues that are related to those sprints, especially when the sprint is completed and when you have some issues that were not completed in a specific sprint. Now, we can always find this information when we go to the UI. So when you go to, let us say, your board, if you are looking at, let us say, your sprint, which is for example, sample sprint 2, you can see all the issues that you have in this particular sprint, and this sprint might be running or it is not yet completed, and you can fetch this information using the REST API, which is great. And the endpoint that we have is this one, which is REST Agile 1.0 board, and the board ID, which is 14 in this case, sprint, and then the sprint ID and issue. Now, and by the way, you can fetch the board ID and the sprint ID by another endpoints, which we discussed in previous videos. Now, what I wanted to show you is that, let us say you're looking at one of the sprint which is completed, but you didn't finish all the issues, or not all the issues were finished in that particular sprint, and those issues were moved to maybe another sprint, and that happens. It is very realistic scenario. So if you go to, for example, reports, for example, and if you then click on maybe click on burned on chart, because when you're looking at burned on chart, you have the information about the issues that were planned and how much work you did, or basically the work that you have been doing for a specific sprint over the period of time. Now, if you look at the sprint, which is sample sprint 2, I can see the ID of the sprint is 9 and the board is 14. So we'll take a look at this information from the endpoint. And if you, let us say, run this, for example, if you try to fetch this information from the using the REST API, for each and every issue that you have, like 9 issues in this sprint, you can see here that for those issues, if you expand the fields, there is one interesting information that you can find, which is the sprint information. So there is a field for those issues where if you want, you can then take a look at the sprint information. For example, this particular issue, which is returned, there is a field called sprint, which shows you the sprint information like ID 9, basically the same sprint that we are looking at overall. And the good thing is that you have this information for you available at all the times, and that is great. You can then use this information to do something with it. But imagine a scenario where you have a sprint that was started, but not all the issues were finished. So if you look at the sprint 4, the sprint ID is 18. Initially, this particular sprint was started with my 2 issues with key 1 and 9. But when the sprint was ended, one of the issue was still not completed. So let us see how this information is displayed. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll change, of course, the sprint in my endpoint. I'll change the sprint ID, which is 18 and not 8, 18, and I will just run this. It will, of course, give me 2 issues because that is what we are looking at. Now, if you look at the first issue, which was completed, for example, if you go back to the burned on chart, iOS 2-1, the issue that was completed is listed here, and you can see this information in the issues details as well. For example, if you expand the fields, you have different fields that talks about, of course, the information that you have captured. Things like status, for example, status is important, and you can also take a look at, of course, the resolution, if you are setting the resolution. The main thing that I wanted to show you is the field that talks about the sprint. And you do have the sprint that is right now null, but when the sprint is closed, there is another field which is updated, and that will basically tell you that this particular issue was part of sprint 18, which is of course the case because we are looking under the sprint, which is 18. We are basically looking at all the issues. And this information is amazing because when you are looking at this information, you can understand that this particular issue was part of this closed sprint, and you also have other things that you can refer to, like status or resolution, for example. Now imagine if you do the same thing for the other issue which was planned in the sprint but not completed. I mean, the issue is still open, or maybe it is moved to the backlog, or maybe it is in a different sprint altogether. So what will happen in this case if you expand and if you go to the fields, you can see here, let me just do a Control F so that we have some visual here. So it says the sprint field, which is 19. So this issue is now part of the sprint, which is 19, but because this issue was initially part of this closed sprint, you have this information like 18. So basically in the JSON response, you have this entry of the previous sprint where this issue was at some time, at some point in time. And if you look at this particular field, the sprint, there's a field which is also updated, where you can also see the information about the sprint, which is, let us say, 18, and it was closed. But if you look at the current one, which is 14, not 14, sorry, 19, this particular sprint is probably still running. So you can do a lot of wonderful things, as I mentioned before, with the REST API. And I'm basically making these videos in response to one question asked on my, not really question, but someone actually reached out to me on my service desk, and he asked me to create these videos, and so that is why I'm creating these videos. And I think it's a very good way to fetch the information, because when you're working with sprints, you may want to plan the work and you may want to also report on it. And the good thing is that, and the great thing is that you can fetch this information and you can also maybe feed it to another tool, maybe if you're doing reporting. And that is what I want to show in this video. And I will continue making a few more videos related to sprints and Jira software in general, and of course using REST API. So that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you also learned something new today. Thank you very much.